when we talk of agriculture as the mainstay of Indian economy, as the one which is contributing to 26% to the GDP of the country, that means 2/3 of the population getting involved in agriculture. So, it becomes the prime duty of the government of India to resort to certain measures which would increase the condition, which would actually give better condition to the Indian agriculture. And the government has done certain measures to in this field. The first is abolition of zamindari system. In the olden times, there were big zamindars who had huge lands and they would never go to the fields. They would actually just collect revenue from their areas. Whether the land actually belonged to them or not, they were the people who were collecting revenue. So, the first step that the government did after independence was that it abolished the zamindari system in India. That is, the right to collect revenue now solely came into the hands of the government, and the big zamindars, the exploitation, the oppression which they were doing on the farmers has definitely decreased. Second is ceiling on land holdings. Now, what is this? That is, a particular person can have only a fixed area of land under him. It cannot be that villages and villages are actually the property of a particular individual. Now, the government has put a ceiling on everybody's land holdings. That means more people now have the land to themselves. It is not the sole property of few individuals. So, this is in fact doing what? Making the power of the rich less. That is by abolishing the zamindari system and the ceiling on the land holdings which the government has done. Moving further, in India, most of the farmers have very small holdings. So, the government of India has initiated, has made efforts to consolidate these small land holdings. That is, make it into a bigger holding, so that the production which comes out is more and the people are able to use the best of the machinery. Next is, what happens when the crop fails for a farmer? He almost has a heart attack. So, the government has ensured certain things, certain measures which ensure him against crop failure due to any reason, the drought or heavy rainfall, whatever the reasons are. If there is a failure of crop, there is an insurance against it. The government, in order to give loans to the farmers for agriculture and also for other purposes, has started with rural banks and cooperative societies which help the farmer to purchase the kind of machinery required for increasing the production. Going further, the government announces a minimum price for the crop. Now, what used to happen in earlier? Whenever the crops ripened, the big hoarders, they used to take the crop at a very meager price. And since the farmer, as we have seen, did not have storage facility and he was in need of money, so he would sell the crop immediately to the people who were ready to buy it at a price which was very low. But the government now has announced a minimum support price for the farmers so that they get their due. Next is, every now and then on the TV and the radio, we hear the weather bulletins and the agricultural programs which help the farmer against all the queries that they have. Now, the government has also tried that the farmers actually start using the high yielding varieties of seeds, use of machines and fertilizers. That is, they are being made available to them wherever they are being made aware that how does it help them, and they are being given loans to buy all this. Thus, the government has tried to secure the poor farmer against all odds, whether it is from the clutches of the rich by abolishing the zamindari system and the ceiling on land holdings, whether it is to give him the kind of money that is required by opening up the rural banks and the cooperative societies, or it is giving him a minimum support price so that the hoarders do not actually exploit him, and other natural odds by giving him information on the weather and the agricultural programs. Well, this was all about agriculture. There was one movement in India which actually is remembered in agriculture as a landmark, and that's the Bhudan or the Gramdan movement, as it was called. It was started by Vinoba Bhave and is also called as the bloodless revolution in India, because here Vinoba Bhave actually did what? He told the big people, the zamindars, the people who had big land, that they must redistribute their land to the poor landless farmers. And there have been examples when such big landlords actually distributed their land to the poor farmers, and thus it gave a new revolution in the country. Well, this is all about agriculture, and that's the end of your chapter. Thank you and have a good day.